What's
Yo,
up, bro?
what's going on, bro?
What's up? What's up, man? Straight?
Yeah, nothing much. I'm good. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm doing well.
All right, bet, man. Hey, man. I just want to start about something. Just to have you on here. I know a lot of people can benefit from this talk, so I'm just here, just a connection.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
All right, bet. So the first question I got for you is, how did you know that your message to the rest of the world was delivered? At what point?
Yeah, man. So for me, I forgave my mother's killer for one, and I started talking about how love is stronger than hate. So I just said those words. Next thing I knew, I woke up the next morning, and that those words were shared across the internet. Right, it went viral. That's when I was like, man, maybe what I got to say is sticking with people. So that's kind of how I knew this is what I should be doing.
For sure, for sure. So, like, second question I got for you is, how has social media impacted your journey?
Yeah, this is good because I think social media can be a good and a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
It could be super, it could be, distracting a lot of times. But for me, man, I use it for my business. I use it to get my message out there, and I get a lot of engagements from social media and people just seeing my content and really vibing with what I do and what I say. And so that's kind of how I use it. I use it as a tool.
Mhm. Yeah, to me personally, it's like, I don't know, a lot of people use their social media to kind of like flex a little bit. Like, I think a lot of people, especially with bigger platforms, should, use it, to spread positive messages, because a lot of social media today, it's like a bunch of negative, but it's promoting the wrong stuff. So,
Yeah. Now, I think I've seen some athletes do that, man. Especially over the last year with the Black Lives Matter movement. I saw different athletes like players from the Boston Celtics or from the Wizards, whoever it may have been. Like they said, you know what? I might not be a full media company, but I have my followers that, are listening to what I got to say, and then they will use their influence in the right way.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So, me personally, I have a lot of inspirational heroes, as I call them. For example, David Goggins is probably my number one right now. I watch him like every day. He just gets me going. Who are some of your inspirational heroes?
Bro, it's crazy you talk about that because I'm reading his book right now, or I'm listening to the audio book, and it is fire, man. So he talks about callousing your mind. Like I love him, number one. I love him. But I like this guy named Tim Grover. He was a trainer for Michael Jordan, trainer for Kobe, trainer for D Wade, right? And he's got phenomenal stuff about mindset as well. So he's one of the guys, as well as a guy named Inky Johnson. Inky Johnson was a football player, ended up having a paralyzed right arm and hand. And now he's a speaker. And I actually connected with him recently, but now he's definitely one of those guys I look up to.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people should definitely tune into those guys. I mean, I know a lot of people, they just think they're talking, but these are like real life stories. And a lot of these stories you can relate to because everyday life. Everybody may be different, but at some point we all kind of go through that stage. So, just hearing it from somebody else, can make your day.
Sure.
So how did you know when like it was time to give up baseball? Like, how did you know like when it was time to just give it up? You gave it as far as you can go, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good question. So for me, man, I got drafted. I was, blessed enough to get about $100,000 signing bonus. But after taxes, I only got like 60 of that, right? 65. And so I was basically providing for my family. I had my brother, my sister, my wife, my son on the way. I was taking care of everybody from my signing bonus because I wasn't making any money in the minor leagues. And then, they called me to the office, said, hey, Chris, we're going to either keep you in Arizona, the rookie ball team, or we're going to have to release you. And I ended up getting released. And it was like, man, I knew who I was as a person, so I wasn't really just trying to keep chasing the dream of baseball and not being able to provide for my family. And so it was kind of a smooth transition for me, which it isn't for a lot of people. But, man, I knew who I was personally, and I was more than just an athlete, so it was smooth.
Mhm. And that led you to become a speaker right after, I guess you could say like your retirement kind of.
Yeah, right after that, I started speaking. I was speaking when I was playing too, so that's why I say it was smooth.
For sure, just a good transition. How were you able to overcome potential like depression following the passing of both your parents?
That's a good question, man. Number one, I didn't see a therapist at first. I used my sport as my therapy. I'm sure you've probably done that before, a lot of basketball players, because you don't need anybody, right? You got a ball, you got a gym, you go in there, you train. That's how you get through stuff. So for me, I was doing that with baseball at first. And then I just had the mindset, like I always thought somebody had it worse than me. Even if it probably wasn't true at that exact moment, I would always think, man, some kid in, Africa, he's got to walk 7 miles a day to get water, right? Maybe he don't, but I just would think it, right? I would think he got to walk 7 miles to get water. Then he's got he's taking care of his brother and sisters, but he's only 12. At least I'm old enough to be able to go out and get a job if I need to. Like I would just think certain things like, man, somebody's got it worse. So just put your head down. Things will work out. And I did that. And I'm grateful that I did that because things started to work out. At the end of the day, bro, I'm going to be real. Like as tough as it was for me, there was never a time where somebody said, Chris, because it's happening to you, you don't got to pay your bills, right? That don't happen. So at the end of the day, I had to figure it out. Okay, you know what? Maybe I don't know about finances, but I can learn about them. I can study it. I can listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos on it. At the end of the day, I got to pay this mortgage and pay this rent, or else they're going to take it all from me and my family. And I was blessed enough to be able to have opportunities to go out there and make some money and not really get too down on myself and be down bad too much.
Yeah, for sure. I can't even imagine how a situation like that would be for me personally. But yeah, it's really crazy to think about. What's your some advice on like leading? What's the best way to lead? So people talk about leading by example, and you have people who lead, they don't say anything, stuff like that. So what's your advice on that?
I think it's a mixture, man. I think you have to be vocal at times. You don't have to be vocal all the time. But I don't think you can be too shy as a leader. But you have to be a servant leader, right? You want to serve the people that you're leading in every single aspect of it. So if I'm telling you to do something and I'm not doing it, number one, you're not going to listen at all because you're thinking this dude's fake. He ain't real. If he's saying it, he's not doing it. But I think when we serve people, like let's say, for instance, I want to go train with somebody and I know they have a tough time getting there. I have a car. I'm going to go ahead and pick them up, right? I want to be a leader and go ahead and say, you know what? We're a team. We're a family. And so I'm going to pick them up so we can go train together. And different things like that, it shows people, hey, man, he's not just talking the talk, but he's also walking the walk and showing us that he wants to serve us to be a leader. That's how I think you get stuff done.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely attest to that. How important is team chemistry in your opinion?
It's important, man. I mean, I think I've seen it like NBA, right, where not all the players click, but they're still able to win. But those guys are so good, right? It's on a different level. And so when you're talking about college, high school, AAU, whatever it may be, it's kind of got to be a brotherhood, right? Even when you break it down, you'll hear people say like brothers, like team, family. And that's the way it should be because you got to depend on somebody. If you mess up, they got to pick you up. And so I definitely think that's important when we talk about athletics before you're a professional.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to take it back to your college playing days. In college, you started as a freshman in front of juniors and seniors. How did you get those guys to trust you?
Man, once I got the opportunity, right, and I showed them, hey, I may be young, but I'm here to play. That kind of got some buy-in from the guys because at first, people are going to kind of write you off because you're so young. You haven't been with the team for these years that they've put in. But once you show them, hey, I'm here to play, man, I think they definitely take that and they see, wow, if he's serious about this game and he puts up results, they can't say nothing but cheer you on for the team's success,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So, like, what's some advice that you'll give to your younger self?
Man, to my younger self, first of all, I would say stop caring what everybody says because in 5 years, you ain't gonna be around none of them no more, right? So I wish I wouldn't have cared what people thought about me so much 5 years ago because a lot of them, either they're doing stuff that I would never be doing or, I'm in a whole different space with a family, providing for my family and all that kind of thing. And they're not in that world yet. So I would just stop caring what people say if I had to go back in time.
Yeah, no, that's law. That's the truth right there. How about a college senior right now?
What would I say to a college senior?
Yeah, advice to a college senior who's about to graduate, go into the real world.
Yeah, for athletes, man, I would say this is the last go-round. You got to give it everything you got, right? Because you're going to miss it. And I know people say it all the time, but you're truly going to miss it, man. But other than that, I would say, figure out what you think you want to do with your life and go intern somewhere, right, to see if that's actually it. Because a lot of times we say we want to do this, we want to do that, till we start doing it, we're like, man, ain't no way in the world I can go my whole life doing this. And so I would definitely tell people to go out there and get internships to see what it is they want to do.
For sure. And a college freshman, what's some advice you'll give to a college freshman, new to college athlete, he don't know what to expect. You think everything's just sweet, the world beautiful.
Yeah. Now, I would say put your head down and work, man, because there's people that are grinding every single day and that are the same age as you, the same opportunities you, got the same amount of time as you. But if you don't put your head down and work, you'll never become the person and the player that you're supposed to be unless you do that. And I heard Damian Lillard say in like a rap, he was like, when you focus and you look up, your money will be fine, right? And I love that because I'm thinking, man, you put the horse blinders on, you're not worried about this, worried about that. You focus on what you're supposed to be doing and you go hard at that. You look up and your life is where it's supposed to be because you haven't been in all the other shenanigans.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. And so for athletes who struggle with mental health, like what are some ways to keep faith and stay positive?
Number one, you got to go to therapy, right? I started going to therapy when I was playing professional baseball, and that was huge for me, right? Because you talk about a game of failure like baseball is, you're failing every single day, constantly. It could take a toll on your mental. And I've seen a lot of athletes now finally start to say, you know what, I want to start going to a therapist. And at the end of the day, like I think, it's good to have our sport, but we also need to have people to talk to because we hold in so much stuff. We think we're supposed to just keep it inside. But we're not. We need to express it, whether it's with our friends, our family, our girlfriends, whoever it may be. Like, we need to get those things out. And if you don't have those people, then therapy is a must, I believe, if you're an athlete.
Sure. It's crazy you say that because, like I said, I watch a lot of David Goggins, and one of my favorite all-time quotes from him is he's talking about yoga, doing yoga, and it's just like people who try to, go around the bush about finding peace, and you find peace from going to war with yourself. You know how he says, you can't Google that stuff, man. I can't say what he said, but you can't Google that stuff, man. So it's just like, it's always like an inner battle with yourself. So I can definitely agree to what you're saying. What's the difference between brothers and teammates?
Yeah, I think teammates, man, they just lace it up together right on the field, on the court. But brothers, it's a bond for life, right? When you're done playing sports, they're going to be in your weddings like I was with some of my brothers. I was in their weddings. They were in my weddings. And that stuff goes, 10, 15, 20, 40 years after the game is over. So that's the difference that I have. I had teammates, right? Then I have my brothers now that some of my best friends we play ball with. So the difference is, teammates, you hang around them for 5 years, maybe, whatever, y'all play together. But brothers, y'all never gonna stop being boys, and that's what I got. A lot of brothers.
So as an athlete, how do you know when the division started to become clear to you?
At the division in like sports or
No, I'm
life.
saying like the vision, like your vision, because all athletes have like that vision. For some, it might be playing D1. Everybody not on the same vision as that. They can't see what they see.
Yeah.
So at what point
I
did
think
it become clear?
Yeah, I think for me, man, I started playing varsity in the 8th grade, baseball-wise, because our school wasn't that good. I told my mom, I said, Mom, I want to go to Georgia Tech. And she was like, you want to go to Georgia Tech? Well, this is what you got to do. You got to hit this good. You got to have these types of grades. She started telling me everything I needed to do. I remember my freshman year, I had that written down on my wall, everything I needed to do to play Georgia Tech. Now, did I ever play Georgia Tech? No. But I got drafted and played, longer than a lot of people that did play Georgia Tech. And it's all because of my 9th grade year. I felt like when I wrote those things on my wall and had it my whole high school career, I had it on my wall. And then after my mother was killed, like I just devoted myself to being able to get to that next level of getting drafted and making her proud. So, you can say a lot of stuff, but if you don't have set action items of how to get there, then it's not going to happen. And that's what my mom taught me when I was a 9th grader in high school.
Sure. And my last question for you, why do you think a lot of people fall off?
Okay. Well, number one, some people, they peak early because they don't think about the long run. For instance, like if you're making a little money right now, whether it's, with me doing what I do, speaking wise, I could blow it all right now, have 2 G-Wagons, have a fat crib right now, but in 20 years, I might not be where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm trying to set myself up for the future, and people only think about the now, and that's why they fall off in a couple of years, because they're not setting themselves up in the future, whether it's being healthy with their body, whether it's training their body and their mind the way they should be, whether it's with the finances, like I just stated. And so that's why I think people fall off, because they always think about right now, instead of delayed gratification. I heard Cam Newton say, he's like, no, you can still have everything you want. You can still have, right? But you can have it 3 or 4 times bigger if you would just wait. And so when I heard that, I was like, man, that's telling me, hey, slow your roll, right? You're going to be able to do what you want to do in life, whether it's buying your family something or having this or that, or being able to, go on these types of trips, or, having this type of body that I want, being fit and healthy. But it takes time, right? And so I'm really focused on delayed gratification right now to make sure I'm not just set right now, but I'm set in the future.
For sure. That's deep. Is there any lasting words you want to leave the people off with? Any advice you want to give about life or anything?
Man, I think, I'm about to write a book, and it's basically talking about how we respond to stuff in life, right? Because nobody can choose some of the stuff that happens to us. It's all about our response. I know, me and you talked about that before. Life is going to hit everybody. It's all about what you do after that is what separates the people that succeed in life from the people that say, woe is me, and they just live a regular life. So it's going to happen to all of us, right? But how do we respond to it? So keep putting your head down and working, even when life hits you and it's tough to get through it.
Sure, that's deep. That's deep. Well, that's all I have for you, Chris. It was a blessing to have you on today. Yeah, man, that was it. That was great. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, bro. I'm signing out.
All right, later.
Yes, sir.